Please wait. Please tell me now. Greetings, salutations. Greetings, Shay. How are you doing? How are y'all doing today? How's everyone doing? Welcome. Welcome to Conversations with TNathan. Yeah, y'all know what time it is. Yeah, it's 10 o'clock Central Standard Time, 11 o'clock Eastern Time, and I am TNathan. And I am live. So the conversation is with TNathan. And y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. Let's get it. Dun 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 dun.
Conversations with TNathan delves into the stories of activists, scholars, and everyday heroes who have fought to continue the fight for justice, equality, and liberation. Not only will he educate and inform, but also empowers listeners to become active participants in the ongoing fight for justice. Every night at 11 Eastern on the GCPR network.
Yeah. Yeah. There you have it. Conversations with TNathan. How y'all doing today? Hope everyone is doing all right. Hope y'all had a good weekend. Um, had a good Monday as we head into Hump Day. Yes, Jay. Jay, check out YouTube. Let me know how it's doing. Where you at, Jay? Let's say today Tuesday. You at mobile or you off? One of the two. Greetings, Gracie. Greetings, everyone. Got enough light? I got enough light? Yeah. So, yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into it. We have, I want to talk about this right quick. I want to get into right quick before we get too far down the road. I want to talk about this because, do, am I the only one that knows Snoop? Listen, I am. It is so interesting to hear Snoop say this, right? So Snoop said he's scared to take his he's scared to see children's movies due to LGBTQ representation, as he asked, we have to show that at this age. And he's talking about a scene. Yes, Snoop hasn't been to the movie since 2020. He's talking about a scene in Buzz Lightyear, the movie that came out in 2022, and I think Snoop is just high, he forgets. Um, and we're gonna get into how high he is. So MAGA Snoop said he's scared because there was a scene in Buzz Lightyear where there's a lesbian couple exchanging a kiss, right? There's a scene in Buzz Lightyear where a lesbian couple is exchanging a kiss. And of course, Snoop said that now the gratuitous violence in Buzz Lightyear, fine, right? That's fine. But the idea that this is the reason that Snoop said that he was scared to take his kids to the movie. I told you it's MAGA Snoop. It's MAGA Snoop. But does anybody remember Snoop from like 2009? Anybody remember Snoop from 2009? Do anybody remember this Snoop? The Snoop that said the following?
The fact that you got a girlfriend is cool with me. Now how about both y'all groove with me? Let's slip to the honeycomb, blaze another blunt song. I
I
don't see
remember this
nothing
Snoop.
wrong. In fact, I'm glad the fact that you got a girlfriend is cool with me. Now how about both y'all groove with me? Let's slip to the honeycomb, blaze another blunt song. I don't see nothing wrong. In
I'm the
fact,
only one.
I'm glad the fact that you got a girlfriend is cool with me.
I'm the only one that
Now how
remember this
about both y'all groove with me? Let's
This is
slip to
Snoop
the
that
honeycomb,
was
blaze
trying to
another
get
blunt
in the
song.
mix,
I don't see nothing wrong.
right?
In fact, I'm glad
While he
the
was
fact
talking
that you
about
got a
him
girlfriend is
explaining to
cool
his
with me.
grandson
Now how
the
about both
lesbian
y'all
kiss that took place in Buzz Lightyear. Who's gonna explain that? Anybody? You home, Jay? All right. Who gonna explain that one? Anybody? Who gonna explain that one to his grandson? It's the idea to to you is going to send you. Yeah, they are. Yeah, because I just did play that on. I probably get. I probably get this whole live censored on YouTube, but it will be censored after it has already been seen. But they still won't delete it. They'll just privatize it. I can download it and upload it somewhere else. But the idea that that Snoop that said that, you can't make this up. Do you understand? You cannot make this up. That the Snoop that said that is now the Snoop who's saying this. What's up, Cam? The Snoop that said that is saying this. Yeah. hmm he want to explain to his grandson. This is what I want to see him explain to his grandson. The words to the lyrics to that song of his. Yeah, I really would like to see that. But I haven't done my video on it yet. I probably get around to it today, tonight, after the show, or tomorrow sometime. But I just want somebody to say, all this MAGA Snoop, MAGA, MAGA House. I can't say that. MAGA Rocky Raccoon House Snoop. That Snoop, Mr. Morality, cheated on his wife so many times. Right. She can count. Let me proceed. No one can focus. We're all very confused. What are y'all confused about? What? What? Is there an elephant in the room? Is there an elephant in the room or something? Is there an elephant behind me? That's just Bella. Yeah. But okay, it's what's the question? Is the Redbeard age over? I think the Redbeard era has been put to rest for it. I think yes, I think it has. I think it has. I'm going to. It's a method to my madness. Um, we need something stronger. We need something stronger. As I watch today, especially just the way things are unfolding and the way people are making concessions to this administration, and it was really what did it was I was watching um, so-called liberals, liberal white people, talk about Donald Trump firing of Lisa Cook, the Fed governor, when he didn't fire Jerome Powell. But to watch this administration dismiss this black woman in a for cause, no cause, and well, try to dismiss her because I could like a black woman. She said, "I ain't going nowhere." She like, "Y'all gonna have to change the locks, and you're gonna have to drag me out of here." And I'm probably going to go to Washington and stand by her. But it's just that I don't think people understand how serious it is. I told you this is why I don't follow white liberals anymore because I watch them talk about, well, if she's guilty of something, you're talking about accusations that have no. You expect a black woman to prove that she's not guilty, but you're not expecting the people that are making the allegations that there are no charges for, just allegations, to not produce any evidence of that allegation. Yeah, my beard turned black because I want to fight. I want to fight. And I figure, I need to be able to get in the door long enough to swing on people. And I want to fight. This woman is more than qualified, and everybody was talking about her. And she has to provide evidence of a crime she didn't commit instead of the people that are accusing her of a crime that have not produced any evidence for. And white liberals are having talking points talking about, well, no, why aren't you all at the federal building? Why aren't you all engaging in the activity that says, she doesn't have to prove a damn thing unless you're charging with her with something? And then that plays out in court. I'm tired. I'm tired of watching people. So yeah, obviously the Red Pill era tolerated a lot of shit, and people. And I don't think people understood. So maybe I need to reintroduce myself. I am fucking TNathan. Don't send me videos about anything on a national level. I know it. I keep saying that. People send me videos. I don't even want you sharing videos with me from other people talking about them. No, I'm going to start blocking people because I keep saying the same things over and over. I don't need national level videos. Now, if you have a video of something locally that happened in your community that you can dialogue with me on, fine, send that. But send me another goddamn video of Donald Trump speaking on MSNBN or Fox News when I literally watch these things 24/7. I'm going to start cussing. I'm going to start cussing. I can sit here and do this show all night by myself, and you all are sending me videos of mediocre white people or mediocre rocky raccoons trying to say. Someone sent me a video. Someone sent me a video. There's another reason. I think I thought you all thought I was something to play with. Someone sent me a video of a Rocky Raccoon talking about Dr. King. I'm like, what the fuck you send me this for? I don't quote Dr. King one passage at a time. I can quote whole speeches if I needed to. Oh, greetings, salutations. It's my mother. Y'all just not telling me. Thank you, Libra. I guess I should have paid attention while I was on my soapbox. Greetings and salutations, mother. How are you doing? I got I gotta stop sending you videos. No, Robert, no. And if you had to stop sending me videos, Robert, I would have told you. This does not apply to you, Robert. Robert, you can send me anything you would like, anytime you would like. This does not apply to you, okay? I look forward to you sending me stuff, okay? Robert, this does not apply to you. It does not. Busted. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Where you been? Okay, got that out the way. Now I can deal with my mother's. My mother's heard me cuss before. This is still tame. This is still tame. My mother doesn't send me videos like that either. It's for a reason. Greetings and salutations. But yeah, this man is trying to fire this black woman, another black woman, in government, and white liberals are sitting in the back trying to compromise and make what she should do. No, she shouldn't do anything. She should take his ass to court. And you all are listening to somebody talking about mortgage fraud that was found guilty of fraud on a massive level with the running of his business. And you got making allegations against a black woman. Of course you are. Of course you are. You're back in Texas? Okay, mother. Multiple times. The New York Supreme Court, the New York court had to overturn his. They didn't overturn his finding of committing fraud with the Trump organization. They just said it wasn't worth $500 million. Yeah, but you got talking about and then there's a way the and I'm watching liberal white people sit there and letting these conservatives spin this in a way like this woman did something wrong because before she was a governor on the Fed, she was a professor at a university. She got a loan, she got a mortgage at 3.4 or 3%, right? And I was like, excuse me. Is anybody gonna tell them? Is anybody gonna cuss their whack ass out and tell them she got that mortgage at prime because maybe her credit score was an 800, and maybe this was also at a time period when prime was 3 points. Yeah, but they sat there. That's what made me mad. They just sat there and let them have all this. No, I don't have it in me. So yeah, I don't. I don't have it in me. I don't have. Um, yeah, something has to change, and I have to be reflective of that change. I have to be reflective of that change. Wonder what would be dug up if the Trump. Listen, listen. For the record, my appeal was not approved. Listen, this is the thing. It's the idea that we know he's only doing this to put somebody on the Fed Board of Governors that he wants. And who did he target? Now he gave all this lip service about firing Jerome Powell, but he fired black woman out of all the people there. We fired the black woman, right? Yeah, of course. And then I got all these stupid ass people sitting it out, talking about we just sitting out while he runs roughshod over black people. He runs roughshod over black people, and people got the nerve to tell me they're sitting out. No, we can't do it. We can't do it. GC. One thing I can't get banned from is GCPR. I might get a fine. I might get a fine, but one thing I can't get banned for is the radio show. So it is what it is. And I will be going. I'm supposed to be going raising money for people who have to be homeless. So far, I only have enough for the first meal, but we're gonna get it. We're gonna do it. But I'm also thinking about visiting a detention facility this next month also. So there's a lot going on. I have no money to do, but we're going to do it because that is part of the commitment to what we're doing. Yes, we're going to visit a detention facility, and I'm going to take you to the detention facility. Wow. Yeah, I paid. Yeah, yeah, you paid for one. You paid for one of them. Yeah, Jay, the nephew, paid for one of my transgressions the other night. He paid for one of my transgressions. I appreciate it. But yeah, Jay, you don't have to because I'm going to keep doing it. Yeah, I'm going to keep doing it because no, Jay, you take care of yourself first, Jay, and your family, right? And then I appreciate anything. Like I understand, I am not going to. We're going to rob Peter to pay Paul. Then I'm gonna make sure Peter doesn't live in my community. I'm gonna make sure Peter doesn't live in my community. I'm gonna make sure of that. I'm not robbing the community to pay the community. We have to start. Um, yeah, I'll start because I'm going to do this. This is what it is. And I think the commitment I had to show the commitment, let people know this is what it's about. This is what it's about. So it's going to be more education, more calling out, more. Just want to do more. I was sitting here today and I was like, am I doing enough? Obviously, I'm not doing enough because I still have people that are not getting it. That are not getting it. You are if I Westmore, um, the governor of Maryland, the mayor of DC, the mayor of Chicago. He's literally trying to attack these cities, right? And they're sitting by talking about real crime. No, here's the deal: shiesty and long drive equals donation. It does it does? But yeah, I'm blackmailing. Yeah, told you. We're blackmailing. We're finding out every little lady protections, and we're going to blackmail them. But I digress. Um, we get to this point where these people need to meet him. They talking about fighting fire with fire. No, we need to fight fire with napalm. Yeah, we need to fight fire with napalm because I'm putting out a call to all my OG gangsters in Chicago. If the National Guard pull up, we pulling up like it's the 1970s. I did have an issue with the Illinois governor's speech about yeah, that's it. It's such a past. I'm watching. We got women out here like Summer Lee and Jasmine Crockett taking the fight where it needs to be, and then we have weak ass men talking about well, we welcome federal government help, but you need to do it this way. No, no, we do not welcome National Guard troops on the streets that are not helping out with a natural disaster. And as we come up on the 20th anniversary of, Katrina, as we come up on the anniversary of Katrina, and I'm looking at the fact that the National Guard failed to even do that job, and now you want to talk about nationalizing the federal government's National Guard units, and he's talking about creating special forces within the National Guard to do these things. And that's like, anybody gonna tell them? Oh, they know because Stephen Miller is a Nazi. Anybody want to tell them that this is what the SS did? This is what the Gestapo was about? Anybody? No, because everybody says, well, we don't want to go that far. We don't want to call him. He calls himself a dictator. Listen, what president has ever had to take the national stage and say, I am not a dictator? What? What? We are watching a president get on the national stage and say, I'm not a dictator. You are sending, listen, listen, listen. Do you all understand? This man is staging troops, military troops, off the coast of South America. What you gonna do to Venezuela? Are we really contemplating invading Venezuela? You put a $50 million bounty on a sitting president's head in Venezuela. You say Moderno is running, even if he is, there are ways to handle that. But you're talking about, you want to know about, but you're stationing. You all remember when Ronald Reagan went into sovereign space and used the Air Force, bombed fields and killed people in Colombia. Talking about, we just killed the people that had no choice but to work in the fields, and you killed them and burned the fields up and say, we're having a war on drugs. You're having a war on civilian people that are not even combatants. You didn't kill one cartel member. You killed the people that are being forced to work the fields, and you all think y'all did something. Yeah, yeah, it's going to take it's supposed to take. You hear what he said when he said he's going to change the Department of Defense to the Department of War. He said, he told him, well, it's going to take a correct act of Congress to do that. He said, don't worry about it. They'll do whatever I say. And I'm like, just say the quiet parts out loud. They'll do whatever I say. And the listen, Donald Trump signed an executive order about flag. And I saw this veteran burn a flag in front of the White House. Talking about he gonna he only got charged with starting a fire in a public place, right? Democrats, let's show you how weak you all are. Every one of y'all should be burning a flag tomorrow. Every Democrat in the House of Representatives should be burning a flag and making videos of it and say, yeah, come get me. See, this is what I talk about. People, oh, what can they do? They can do a lot. They can do things that call out and let people know that this has no teeth unless we give it teeth. The Supreme Court has already ruled on flag burning. Supreme Court has already ruled. Not once, but twice. Because Congress tried to do it, slide in another bill about it. Twice the Supreme Court has said. So you're going to tell me that Democrats are just going to miss an opportunity. Miss opportunities. Like I told them, why y'all running? You're in Texas. Why you running? And then you got the black representative. They leave her. They leave her. They go with their escorts wherever they're going. She said, I ain't escorting. No one escorting me anywhere. I'm staying right here. And she gets locked in the house, in the Texas house. But you know what? In the Texas House chamber for her. But you know what? That just shows me. That just shows me. And then the next day, they all tearing up their thing and they staying there. No, where were you that night? Why was she in there by herself? Why was she in there by herself with just the guards around there? And now the next day, of course, y'all want to jump on. But where were you that day? Where were you at that day? I'm just tired. I'm just tired of sitting back and watching people that call themselves leaders do nothing in the face of this but talk. I don't want to have a panel discussion about it. If you're not talking about doing something, I can talk to myself. I can do this all day. No, I can't do it all day, but I could if I had to. But I just watch people. I watch people talk about shit for 12 hours a day. I get up in the morning, I get ready, I go to the gym, come back, take a shower, and the same people. When I'm in the Uber coming back, I look at my phone, and the same people alive. You ain't wash your ass. You ain't did anything. I go out, do breakfast for a couple of people in the community. Then we go and do meals for get meals ready for other people, supplies. I had Tuesday and Thursdays. I have class. I get back home. I look at it and I'm like, I got the same damn thing on. I mean, like every once in a while, I can understand if I want to do a 12-hour marathon to raise funds for something. I can understand. We'll make time to do that because that's work to me. But they're talking about the same topic, and you all are watching. So I'm like, okay, all right. I guess that's what y'all like. I guess that's what you like. So I'm gonna leave y'all to what you like. I'm gonna leave y'all to what you like. Because at the end of the day, action speaks louder than words. Action speaks louder than words. And this action. So um, now some people only take baths once a year. I believe you. I believe you. And some people just talk. They talk, but they don't accomplish a motherfucking thing. Like people talking about reparations, and that's tonight. How much time I got left? I didn't mean to stay on the soapbox that long. Ugh, it's 10:32, so I got to make this part quick. Um, Tonight I wanted to talk about because I see a lot of people talking about reparations, and you don't know what the hell what reparations are. So I guess tonight I decided to do this live about what reparations is and what it isn't. Jay, are you still in here? They're already trying to put his face on Mount Rushmore. They should. They should. Go ahead. Put it up there. It's like y'all. It's like the white city in Arkansas that everyone talking. Yeah, let them do it. Just let me know. Just let me know where I need to go if I plan to be up to shenanigans. Yeah, put his face on Mount Rushmore. You know how long it took to carve one face on Mount Rushmore? Yeah, let's see it. Yeah, put it up there. And people don't care. Don't care where their tax money's going. They don't care what he's doing. They don't care. They don't care that the deficit is going to increase over 10 years. Long as it doesn't over increase before midterm elections, they don't care. I'll be taking a pay cut to continue to do what I do because one big beautiful bill is cutting off funding, and I had a choice to lose a part-time member or take a pay cut. Of course, y'all know what I did. This person was homeless. You can't lose them. This is what they're doing to survive. So we're going to do that. Yeah, when office it didn't have any hesitation. You can lose this worker or you can with no hesitation. Because at the end of the day, I know how to make it. Rocky is too fragile. They put a face up there and just making a target. Probably a lot longer than it'll take for us to knock it down. You're right. As a matter of fact, I spent all the money. Spent all the money. I'm watching the same Confederate flags the Confederate monuments that I spent 6 years getting taken down in Mississippi and Louisiana and Alabama. I'm watching them. 6 years we spent fighting to get the flag changed. If you're not from Mississippi in the South, you might don't know this, but that's where most people knew me from before I even came to TikTok. Because that's what we did. We went down and, if there was paint on a statue, I don't know how it got there. Don't know. I have no clue. That statute of limitation hasn't run out on that yet. So, but that's what we did. That's what we did. And I'm watching them be put right back up. And nobody, except the same people, or even taking actions. Like when it was cool, everybody. I'm waiting for Mississippi to change their flag back and put the Confederate battle emblem back on it. I mean, we do have metal on our side, so it will only take a minute tops to knock it down. Yeah, we got metal, but Metal's not going to be the one placing the needed material in the right place. He can teach, but he's not going to be scaling the side of Mount Rushmore. Metal can't do that. He can tell me what I need to do, but it's great, and I love him. But Metal's short. He's short. I'm manual labor whenever he's doing something. Uh, he'll tell you. That's what I tell him. When he was putting that, I was like, you don't have to carry anything or hold anything up. I got it. I'm manual labor. You're the screwdriver man. So that's what it is. So, like I said, I hear people talking about reparations, and I realize that the more I heard people talk about them, the more I realize people don't know what reparations are. So tonight, I want to briefly talk about the 5 points of reparations. Right. I want to talk about the 5 points of reparation because anybody's always talking about 1 point compensation. Compensation is part of reparations. It's not all of it. It's one of the 5 points. So we're going to go through and I'm going to talk about each of the points of reparations, what it is and what it isn't. So buckle up and let's get it right. Because reparations are the act or process of making amends for wrong. Understand that. The process of making amends for wrong. It's not just money, because money is never enough to make amends. And we're going to start with the first section, succession, assurances and guarantees of non-repetition. That is the first that is the first and the most important key to long term reparations. You must make concessions. You must make it so that what happened to cause the wrong can never happen again. And I hate to break it to you all. The Constitution of the United States has proven it can be amended. It can be amended. So the 13th Amendment is not a guaranteed succession, that the actions that are leading to the reparations necessary will never happen again. And until we address that, it will happen. You can get the right. This administration has shown us if you get the right number of people vote and I always hear these people talking about, oh well, we'll never do that. Prohibition. Y'all remember prohibition? Y'all remember being overturned because people's moral guidance changed towards alcohol? Y'all remember that, right? So the 13th Amendment and the 14th Amendment and the 15th Amendment, these amendments we call the Civil Rights Amendments, they are just suggestions on paper. Because I told you, you can take the entire Magna Carta, which are the first 10 amendments to the Constitution, and the rest of them, and overturn them. And the rights and privileges of white men will still be invested in the articles that are left. So, having a society where people were enslaved and their enslavement was part of this Constitution for liberation, then you are not done the work to make sure that this never happens again. And the never happening again part has to do with empowering people to make sure that it never happens again. It's not just enough to say it won't happen again. You have to have the people that are in power, and I mean military power. I mean a special branch decided with putting bullets in people's head that want slavery again. I said it. Oh, you all remember the video? As I'm saying that, you remember the video I did talking about if anybody jumped the person I'm with, that I am one with, that I said if 5 people jumped them, that they would get all of the smoke. I don't care if you won. I always talk about it. TikTok took that video down and flagged me for extreme violence. They said I was being extremely violent. I didn't show any videos. There are people that are doing think pieces on that one video. They're doing think pieces. There are people that are showing the whole video. But yeah, I get flagged for extreme violence. So you know where I'm at, right? You know it's still up on my Instagram pages and threads because it's Instagram and threads. It's still up there, but TikTok flag, and I'm gonna do a video about them flagging me. Yeah, I'm gonna do a video about that. But I was thinking about when I just talk about to make sure this never happens again. Guarantees of non-repetition, and it's going to take violence because the act of enslaving people is a violent act, and it's going to take violence to combat that. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, I'm violent. Now, let's get to restitution. Restitution and repatriation, right? That is not money compensation. Restitution means to reestablish the situation which existed before the wrongful act was committed. All right? Changes trace the wrongful act or reverse through restoration and freedom. This will never happen. This part of restitution will never happen completely because that will acknowledge you have to undo the damage that was done. And the damage that was done, because it has never been addressed properly since Reconstruction, is not going to, you're not going, you can't restore us back because people look at Africa and look at the home motherland, and they were like, "Oh, you all just a bunch of savages running around with no shoes on." That's the way we look at it. So they think that that's what you have to restore to. See, the reason this will never happen is because you don't have the ability to restore. You don't have the ability to reverse. You don't have the ability to undo that damage. You don't. You don't have the ability to restore us to the path we were on before your intervention. Before that, you don't. And I'm not even, I would take it back and say, oh, I'm not holding the United States responsible for the entire transatlantic slave trade, but I'm holding you responsible for everything you did under the transatlantic slave trade to the slaves. And I had this guy was telling me, I think I told you the story before. The guy was talking and he's like, "Well, I didn't kidnap you all. We didn't kidnap you all. We might have enslaved you, but we didn't kidnap you all. So you should go after the kidnappers." I said, "You sound stupid. You sound like the kind of person that you come up on a woman tied up in the woods. You come upon a woman who has been tied up in the woods, and instead of freeing her and helping her get back on her feet and finding her way back to where she needs to go, you just take her home and continue to treat her the way she was treated. And then gonna say, "Well, I didn't kidnap her. I just found her and I just thought I'd use her." You sound stupid. You sound stupid. When I hear people that are benefiting from the acts of the enslavement of a whole race of people, they'll have the nerve to tell me, "But my dad didn't own any slaves." Your dad didn't own the diner, but you could go in there and get something to eat, and I couldn't because of the color of my skin, and you wasn't hollering about it. You think the wealth gap that exists in this country exists because only 30% of white people in the South own slaves? You do understand that the most millionaires in this country during 1860 were in the Mississippi Valley, in the Mississippi River Valley in the South. There were more millionaires per 100, 1,000 people in the South than there were in the North. And you know why? Because of slavery. So number two can't happen. I just say it. I'm not going to intellectually be dishonest or be like, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because three is the one everybody thinks is just reparation. Three is compensation. Three is compensation. When people talk about reparations, they're not talking about reparations. They're talking about compensation. And this is what they mean. The interstate institution or individual is obligated to compensate for the damage. If damage is not made good by restitution, constant restitution, which is over here, and that means restoring back to the state. If you can't do that, then compensation is required for any financially accessible damage suffering to the extent appropriate and proportionately to the gravity of the violation and circumstances. Tell me the dollar figure. Tell me the dollar figure for the disbursement and the breeding of slaves in this country. Tell me the dollar figure. Oh, we don't want to use slavery? Let's just give me the dollar figure from Jim Crow, the people that endured Jim Crow, discrimination that was practiced in this country and still is today. Give me the dollar figure. Because somebody told me, 50,000, 100,000 per black person or family in the country. I'm I'm going to be a mass shooter. Whoever said it, I'm shooting. What is the dollar figure? So when we talk about reparations and you all are skipping to compensation, what is the dollar figure? What dollar figure are we putting on the lynching of my family members, the beating of our brothers and sisters, the forced raping of black women, the buck breaking of black men? What is the damn dollar figure? Y'all, I don't need y'all quiet. I need somebody to tell me what the dollar figure is. While we talking around, and that's why I be listening to people and they be talking about restitution, when they talk about reparations and they just talk about compensation. I just be wanting to ask, what is the dollar figure? Well, this is what all you're talking about. And if you're going, say it's $1 million, say it's $1 million. If we don't do anything to address the discrimination, let me tell you what $1 million is. Number one, if you're not doing anything to address the discrimination that is caused that precedes wealth, you're just going to have $1 million that they're going to take from you in taxes and other ways anyway. And you don't understand that if we don't address those issues, like the first one up, and as much as the second one is possible, compensation is nothing. LA detention facility. They just um brought in a busload of children into the LA detention facility. Children, Petra. I'm gonna get back to that, Petra. Let me get back to that after this. Um, yeah. So when I hear people, I'll be like, "What's?" When I talk about the compensation part of restitution, I'm talking about the creation of institutions that counter institutions of racism, counter the institutions of racism that exist in this country. That's what I'm talking about. Because if you're not prepared to create institutions that counter and address the institutions that have been formed to disparage black and brown people, you're not doing. That's the kind of compensation we need. We need compensation like no tax for 100 years. No taxes. We don't pay any taxes for 100. We have free education, and not free education in the mode of you get to control the education, you get to fund the education. No, funded education up to the standard of the highest institutions in this country. Yeah, this is what reparations look like. This is why when I hear people talk about, oh, well, my daddy, I didn't own it, I'm not paying you. I didn't ask for your money because if I wanted your money, I'd take it. See, that's the thing. Keep playing with us. If I wanted your money, I would take it. It's not your individual responsibility to pay reparations to somebody. It is the government's responsibility, just like they paid reparations to other people. It's the government's responsibility. And all of a sudden, these people who were didn't care about their taxpayers, their tax dollars going to buy $500 toilet seats, all of a sudden they care about what that $20 a year they're paying in taxes goes to. All of a sudden they care. It always show me who people are when they talk about not paying reparations because compensation part of reparations, but they have never cared about where their taxes went before. They say they pro Palestine, but they don't care about. They're not talking about their taxpayer dollars going to bombs that are bombing the Gaza that just recently killed 20 people and 5 reporters at a building that they know existed all this time. And then Yahoo is saying, "Oh, it's just a grave error." Everything that Israel has done 30 days after has been in grave error when it comes to killing innocent people. So when people say stuff like that, I'm not asking you if we just stop spending so much on if we stop spending so much on government funded murder of the Department of Defense, then we could not only create reparations or compensation, we could actually take that money to solve homelessness. We could solve so many social issues in our society with just the amount of money they spend in 1 year on the Department of Defense. So spare me the part about you people thinking I want their money for reparations. I'll tell you, leave me alone, or I'm really coming to take your money because I've done it. I know how it looks. Then we got to deal with satisfaction. Satisfaction is the part of full reparations under international law for moral damage, such as emotional injury, mental suffering, and injury to reputation. In some instances, with secession, that's number two, number one, restitution, number two, and compensation, three, did not bring full repair. Satisfaction is also an apology that falls under the repertory category of satisfaction. We need an apology. We need an apology that is emphatically stated. Not only do you do all these other three things, I told you number two is not possible. Number one, number three is not possible in the way most people look at it, because most people think my ancestors went through all that, so you can have a new Cadillac. You got me fucked up. Number four is, in spite of how hard other three are, number four is damn near impossible. Simple. You would think it would be simple. See, we're not getting an accurate apology because everyone's gonna say, "Well, those people are not here today." You here? You here? You still benefit from the society? You here? You here? Do you understand that Ghana not only made a full apology for its part in the transatlantic slave trade by maintaining ports that slaves were exported out of, opened their country up to the descendants of those slaves and welcomed you home with consultation. Excuse me, all, just a minute. You know I'm on the show, right? Yeah, I have the show to 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock Central. But only because it was you that I even answered. I, I, listen. So that's what you have to understand when you talk about the satisfaction portion. That if we're not talking about how do we morally apologize, and it's not like, oh well, we're sorry. No, atonement is part of satisfaction also. Atonement. I always tell people that we talk about things, we talk about an apology. An apology without atonement is worthless. Some of y'all accept apologies in your relationships, then you get no atonement, and that's why they're worthless. Yeah, I can use these same things for relationship advice for a day, but if you're not apologizing with atonement, you're just saying words, and you're also biding your time till the next time you do the same fucked up shit. And that what we have. It's like Bill Clinton. I remember Bill Clinton tried to do an apology for injustices that this country visited on the feet of black and brown people. Bill, you didn't sign any legislation. I don't need a memorial plaque. I don't no one is asking for a plaque. What does a plaque do? He only did it because it was politically expedient at the time to get the black vote, because black people can be tricked into believing that your so-called apology is heartfelt. I don't care about you playing the saxophone on Arsenio Hall. I care about what you do. I care about what you do. I keep your meaningless apologies if they don't come with a tone. All right. And lastly, so when y'all hear people talking about reparations, I want the people that follow me to know what reparation is and what it isn't. I want you to get active and tell people y'all don't know what the hell you're talking about. No, you can't just do it because you don't like Bill Clinton. This is rooted in something. It's not enough. I don't care if people like me or not. I don't care about liking Bill Clinton or not. If you're not rooted in action, then I don't care. It's people I like that are not rooted in action, so I can't fuck with them when it comes to revolution, when it comes to liberation. I know it's like, yeah, you tell some good jokes, you're funny, but at the end of the day, you're not a revolution. And then there are people I don't like that I can acknowledge that, hey, you're doing the work. Me and you personally need to do the work on opposite sides of the field until such time as we get done, and then we can go our separate ways. I think people put too much emphasis on like and dislike and not the work. The work is what's important. And lastly, rehabilitation. Rehabilitation should be provided to include legal, medical, psychological, and other care services, right? That means that now, and this is outside of compensation. This is outside of the compensation. This is the system taking on the responsibility to be responsible for any legal assistance, any medical assistance, any psychological and other care and services needed by those who were impacted by the original act itself. America always calls its original sin slavery. Yeah, trust me. America's original sin, slavery, was not the first. The way the way they treated the indigenous people was their first sin. That was their first sin. They compounded that sin by slavery and showing how they treated black and brown people and people that were not white. So the original sin was actually the way they treated indigenous people of this land and every land they landed in, and then the enslavement that occurred for their edification. It's inclusive. How much time I got? I did good. I did good. Had 2 minutes to spare. So, questions. Question. Anything I didn't cover? Anything not understood that I expect you all to understand when you all have these conversations about reparations? These are the 5 things. If they're not included, you're not talking about reparations. You're not. If you're not talking about all 5 of these things and how to accomplish them, you're not talking about reparations. You're just having a glorified conversation with pseudo intellectual people who want to seem like they know what they're talking about. Reparations involves 5 facets. DJ is down with the revolution. DJ told me, he said, I'll sit here until you finish. He realizes that and then when he told me, I remember when he told me that, he said, TNathan, I'll just sit here till you finish. Don't rush. Because that's what it's about. And he knows I'm not going to take all this time unless it's necessary. But if it's necessary, I'll sit here and talk. If I thought if it would help, I would talk for 2 hours straight. I would take over the whole radio station till in the morning. Who's going to check me if I thought it would help? Who's going to check me? So that is reparations. That is what reparations actually is. And I want you all to remember that. Don't tempt him. Says the person who's seen me in action. Uh, listen, That's what reparation is. That's what I want you all to start. I need you all to be alkalites. I don't need you all just to listen to me. I need you to internalize it. I need you to internalize it and carry it. Because at this stage, it's not enough just to listen. At this stage in the game, you all need to be carrying the message. You all need to be explaining it to those who care to have it explained to and calling out the ones who are not doing it. That's what the work is going to look like going forward. That's why the beard is the color it is. Because now it's the stage of developing everybody who's been here for a while, everybody I call family, everybody. That's it's not like it's not a continual process, but now it's the time for the return. It's time for you to start walking in the path you say you all admire in me. It's time. Thank you. It's time to start walking the path that you say you admire in me. I need you all to take education, internalize the education, and walk the path now. To fight the fight. Yeah, I'm still here to lead. I'm not abandoning you all. But now it's basic training is over. Basic training is over. All right. And on that note, DJ, we out of here on. Let me log out. Give DJ his show. All right. Before I get into any more. Hey, somebody tell me. Hey, you still in here? Jay, you still in here? Tell me if my YouTube is still up, Jay. Somebody tell me if YouTube is still up or did they shut me down because of the community guideline, the copyright violations from earlier. I think they left it up. I can this is on time for you. Yeah, this is on time for me. This is on time for me. But that's it. It's over. We'll log out of YouTube. So as soon as somebody tell me if it was still up. See, I just see the system. I know it says I'm still logged in, but I never know what YouTube if it's still logged in. I had to do a double take, like who is this man? Because you look different. Yeah, yeah. Plus I'll be get the workout in also. Get the workout in. But it is all good. All right. Y'all have a good one. I'm just gonna log out of YouTube. I guess Jay must sleep. Jay might have went to sleep. Um,